Let's face it, most of us are not having our kitchens designed by Studio McGee. If you are, lucky you. No, most of us are trying to design and renovate our kitchens to be highly functional and beautiful using the budget that we have, using the local resources that are available to us, and maybe with the help of online creators like myself, hoping that the end result will look something like a McGee kitchen. In this video, I will show you some of the elements that Studio McGee uses in their kitchen projects so that you can make your kitchen feel and look more designer. Starting with a detail that gets overlooked. When I see this detail, I think someone was definitely being intentional, which is not surprising as one of Studio McGee's core tenets is intentional design. Mine too. This detail is also very accessible to just about anyone, even if you're using off-the-stock cabinets in the most basic of kitchens. I'll show you this picture. Do you see it? Yeah, it's pulling the sink cabinet forward. It's so subtle, but oh so good. Nothing super special as far as planning and cabinetry. Pull the thing forward by about 3 inches, make sure the exposed sides match, and voila, a designer feature. Now think of all the kitchens that you've been in. Think about the kitchens of your friends and your family members. How many of them have this detail? Not many, I'm guessing. So this will instantly set your kitchen apart from most people that you know. Now, you will have to be sure that you're not destroying your clearance and your working space by doing so. Never add something to your kitchen that can take away from its function. However, if you have ample clearance and can afford a little bit of the extra added cost for the countertop fabrication, this is a very simple way to make your kitchen stand out. We'll stick with the sink again for this next feature. It's one that's a dead giveaway that your kitchen was designer inspired. In fact, it's even featured in the McGee's own kitchen. Have a look. You've likely spotted it right off the get-go, the apron sink with the ledge. The matching countertop ledge under the apron sink is a tasty little detail that adds a ton of style to your kitchen. It's called a drip rail, and it also comes with some unique functional support. As apron sinks help protect the cabinet beneath from water damage, the drip rail supports this even more. Gone are the days of water-damaged cabinetry underneath your sink due to that sneaky splash of water left sitting on the cabinet's finished surface. The drip rail is just one more barrier to help protect your cabinetry with the added bonus of this high-end design style. Now, this will likely cost you a little bit of extra fabrication cost, and you'll likely need a cabinet manufacturer that can handle this detail, but definitely something to include if you want to give your kitchen that designer look. I also think that just the apron sink alone gives off a little more of a designer feel than any other sink type, so you could just do this and be looking pretty good, but if you do it this way with the countertop material integrated as the apron, you've just skyrocketed into the designer stratosphere. I love this detail even more than the drip rail. This looks the most designer to me, plus you'll have more options for your sink choice as you're not pigeonholed into an apron front sink. Like the drip rail, this will add to your fabrication cost, and your cabinet maker will need to be able to handle the type of cabinetry needed to accept this detail. But for the most part, it's pretty doable in the average kitchen renovation if planned for properly. The next detail that sets the standard kitchen apart from the designer kitchen pairs well with the first one on my list of pulling the sink base forward, but also works on islands and just about any other cabinet if done tastefully. You'll have to look down for this one and notice the arched or balanced toe kicks. You don't want to overdo this design detail as it will start to look like you're just trying too hard. Just one cabinet can be enough in some cases. Assuming your kitchen is designed to be functional, these small little details bring a ton of designer style into a kitchen space and really sets it apart from a standardly designed kitchen. Another small detail that pairs well with this, or even without it, is a flush toe kick. You'll see this in some of McGee's kitchens. It's a nice detail to add to an island or pantry hutch, and it just adds a little bit to that designer style. Now, I want to emphasize, especially as I'm going down this list, that function outweighs everything when it comes to kitchen design, designer inspired or not. My one-on-one consultation is a great way to make sure that your kitchen is designed properly so you'll have the confidence to move forward with your project and be ready to include some of these details that I'm showing you. I'll answer questions, give layout and design advice, check your kitchen's function, and give you peace of mind that you're moving in the right direction. There's a link below for more details, and I hope to meet you. Some designer features go against my functional design intuition. This next one is just that. Have a look. If there's one thing that catches my eye for the wrong reason, it's open shelving. But we're not just talking about any open shelving here. That would be too easy. What you'll find in a Studio McGee inspired kitchen is niche shelving. A niche shelf is inset into a structure such as a wall or a cabinet side, and sometimes is used to complement the architecture of the space. This is what sets it apart as a designer feature. While any surface could be functional, the niche shelf itself is not intended to store your daily used dishes. No, these are meant to be curated. It's a place to display items for interior design and style purposes. I think it's one of the more unique ways to add style, depth, and interest into a space. Of course, it comes with a warning. No matter the style of your open shelf, you must be prepared to clean and dust it, likely once a week. If this is a deal breaker, then you want to consider adding a door to this inset area. You will need to have special construction elements to make this possible, but it's not impossible in a standard kitchen environment. One of the really cool ways that Studio McGee uses niche shelving is along the side of a range hood enclosure. If you can make this work, adding a niche shelf here not only looks really designer, but gives a great functional overlap for easy grab items needed around the range. Again, be cognizant of the fact that this will have to be cleaned on a regular basis, but you'll be cleaning your backsplash anyways, so probably not a whole lot of extra work. One of the typical ways to get that designer vibe in a standard kitchen is to pay attention to one of the main zones in your kitchen, the range wall. This is usually a great opportunity to add stylistic features that create that wow factor. Studio McGee does this particularly well, and I think we can learn a lot by taking a look at some of the specific details that they use. Unique tile backsplashes, such as Zelish tile or even subway tile, a matching stone slab backsplash, or a stone upstand with a small shelf. You can also focus on the symmetry of the surrounding cabinets, the vent hood design, and the lighting. This is one of the best areas in your kitchen to make a focal point. If you have a separate cooktop in this area, you can also do a similar thing to it as you did with the sink cabinet by pulling it forward, adding a little extra touch of dimension into the space. And things don't have to be equally symmetrical in this space either. Asymmetry could be the very feature that you're going for. In this kitchen, the range is offset, but there's still an element of symmetry through the cabinets. Pair this with niche shelving on the sides of your range or a highly custom backsplash, and you'll start to see your designer kitchen come alive. But no fear if all of these things are impossible in your design. Simple functional pieces like a magnetic knife strip or a rod and hook for pots and utensils, or even some simple wall leaning cutting boards can add just enough to your design to draw the eye. The next designer feature will take a chunk out of your budget for sure. Some would even say that it's overkill or just don't like this look at all. But paneled appliances are a common feature in designer kitchens, specifically the fridge and of course the dishwasher. But let's focus on the fridge for a minute. Obviously, if you're going for that all cabinet look or don't want to worry about matching appliance colors or just can't find the appliance combination in the same brand, this is a great choice. A kitchen can certainly look designer without a paneled fridge, but this is certainly a detail that Studio McGee uses often. Paneled fridges can look tacky when done poorly, but you'll notice in these McGee kitchens that there is a special attention placed on the fridge placement to avoid a wall of cabinetry that many wish to avoid. Paneling the fridge is also a great way to anchor the symmetry of the wall that is flanked by tall structures, as seen in this kitchen. My only concern with this application is in the event that something happens to the fridge and it needs to be replaced. If you can't get the exact model number of the previous fridge, you now have a problem with the panel, because the panel for the first fridge will likely not fit the new one because they're custom made. And getting a new panel might be an issue because you have to make sure it matches. Wood colors change over time, and even painted cabinets can change colors. The same issue goes for a dishwasher, though you might have an easier time finding a dishwasher that matches the panel that you already have. Just put that in the back of your mind when considering a paneled appliance. I don't think I'd worry about it, but it is something worth mentioning. Paneled dishwashers definitely seem to be the norm in a designer kitchen. You'll see them in most kitchens designed by Studio McGee. As with any kitchen, one of the most important aspects of a well-designed space, both functionally and stylistically, is lighting. You can give me all the designer features in the world, but if the space is not lit for optimal function, it's all for nothing. So first and foremost, make sure that your kitchen is lit for function. And after that, there are two main elements that bring a designer kitchen appeal: sconces and lamps. Now, lamps are easy. Find a cool lamp, stick it on your countertop, take a pic for Instagram, you're done. And if the lamp is something you've found and restored, oh my, even better, that's going to give you mega style points. What's a designer kitchen without some repurposed or even personal element? Sconces are a different story. These actually can add a ton of function for a task surface, and depending on your tolerance for lighting layers, can be just the thing that takes your kitchen into the next level. And as with any lighting choice, be conscious of a placement that can create shadows. Also determine if your sconces are going to be ambient light or task specific. They don't need to be task specific to be valuable as a light source, especially when the rest of your lighting layout is providing that. Having this as a layer of light and design texture is a smart way not only to bring in more light to your space, but also more of that designer style. Studio McGee uses these tastefully, adding both function and that designer style that clients are going for. Sconces may be a lighting layer that add to your design, but it comes with an extra cost due to the added electrical work and the fixtures themselves. They're not a must-have, but they are a nice touch. The next feature is a lot less visual and may not really be considered designer, but I think the addition of functional accessories to your kitchen to make it easier to use and more enjoyable to work in is one of the best designer choices that you can make. While most of these design features focus on the outside of the cabinetry, this one focuses on the inside. If your kitchen has a corner cabinet, one of the designer features that I recommend is a magic corner. This would appeal to me much more than a paneled refrigerator because of function. Or how about a pull-down wall system to make those hard-to-reach cabinets even more usable? And if you don't want to spend thousands of dollars on those things, well, just simple pullouts, an organized system for your spices, vertical tray storage, or just well-planned out organizational approach to your storage will make your kitchen a whole lot easier environment to work in. And in my opinion, these are the things that truly make a kitchen designer. Now, there is one designer feature that you will see a lot of, and many people wish to add this to their kitchens: the pot filler. I'm on the fence with these. I think they could add functional value. They look like they belong in a designer kitchen, but having a faucet without a drain seems dangerous to me. For every other faucet in your home, there is a dedicated drain. But I guess you don't need one of these if you're only filling pots. Let me know what designer feature you like the best.